Iron Giant has reawakened to help Luffy in One Piece, but why now, and how is it related to Joy Boy? Let's find it out in this video. The Iron Giant was first introduced at the start of the Egghead Island arc, and ever since then, this giant has proven itself to be very important. Recently, in One Piece chapter 1111, the Iron Giant was seen awakening once again, and now it is going to be heavily involved in the climax of the Egghead Island arc. However, there are many mysteries surrounding the Iron Giant that are truly unanswered, and the biggest one of them is the main goal of the Iron Giant and the reason for its existence. The Iron Giant was created long ago during the Void Century. 900 years ago, this Iron Giant took life, and ever since then, it has remained active. At some point, the Iron Giant became an acquaintance of Joy Boy. This might be weird to many. However, the Iron Giant actually appears to be a living giant. It is completely capable of sentience and feels all sorts of emotions. Despite it being a robot, the Iron Giant might actually just be a shell with the soul of a living being inside. This was confirmed when the Iron Giant apologized to Joy Boy immediately after waking up. Regardless, going back to the creation of the Iron Giant, fans know that this giant most likely fought alongside Joy Boy against the 20 Kingdoms. However, due to their loss, it is highly likely that the Iron Giant was either dismantled or that event took place somewhere that we do not know about. 200 years ago, the Iron Giant suddenly appeared out of nowhere and climbed the Red Line. It reached all the way up to the Holy Land of Marijoa and attacked the Celestial Dragons. Unfortunately, before it could cause any large-scale damage, the Iron Giant ran out of energy, and that is when it shut down permanently. The world government subsequently ordered the destruction of the giant. However, the scientists who worked on it kept it safe and hidden, and eventually, this giant found its way to Egghead Island, which is where Dr. Vegapunk is currently working. The Iron Giant lay dormant on Egghead, and even though Vegapunk tried to recreate a source of power for it, he was not able to do so. According to Vegapunk, the source of its power is ancient energy that he simply cannot get his hands on. Because of that, the Iron Giant was simply a scrap of metal that was useless to Vegapunk. However, Luffy's arrival in Egghead changed that, and it is interesting for the fans to see that the Iron Giant is going to become incredibly important from here onwards. The Iron Giant finally reawakened when Luffy arrived on the island. Immediately when Luffy clashed with Kizaru, the drums of liberation that his heart produced reached the Iron Giant, and it was able to power this giant up, finally lighting his eyes. For the first time in 200 years, the Iron Giant awakened. Later down the line, when Luffy reactivated Gear 5, the Iron Giant powered up properly, and this time, it finally got up. As Luffy continued to fight in Gear 5 against the Admiral and the Five Elders, this extended fight most likely gave it enough power to finally move. Luffy then decided to evacuate from Egghead and get to the ship of the giants. When he did that, the fans finally got a glimpse of the Iron Giant, and it was seen walking through a sea of flames, seemingly unaffected by it. The first thing that the Iron Giant did was apologize to Joy Boy. This clearly indicates that the Iron Giant had some sort of connection with Joy Boy. Perhaps the Iron Giant shares a personal relationship with him. This might sound absurd to the fans, given that the Iron Giant is a robot. However, the Iron Giant is fully autonomous. It is capable of sentience and emotion. There is clearly a power that is bound to the Iron Giant, such as the soul of some being. It is this very power that moves the giant, and this power might even be connected to the Buccaneer race, given that the Iron Giant is somewhat similar to Kuma in many ways. For one, both Kuma and the Iron Giant are iron shells. Both of them are seemingly dead, yet they possess complete sentience as well as emotions. Both Kuma and the Iron Giant climbed the Red Line, and both of them are believers in Joy Boy. It is possible that the person inhabiting the body of the Iron Giant is a Buccaneer from the Void Century and possibly a very close associate of Joy Boy. Most importantly, fans might wonder what the goal of the Iron Giant is. The first thing that the fans need to keep in mind is that the Iron Giant is an ally of Joy Boy. This is clear from the fact that it was created by the people of the Ancient Kingdom, and of course that its first words were an apology to Joy Boy. Given that it is an ally of Nika, its goal is most likely going to be to fulfill the will of D, or to help the person who will fulfill the will of D complete the task. In a way, the Iron Giant could be kept by Joy Boy for Luffy, who he knew would come in 800 years' time. Joy Boy knew his will would be inherited 800 years later, and that someone would fulfill the task that he failed to do. For this reason, he might have ordered the Iron Giant to protect this particular individual or to guide him in some way. However then, the curious case of one of the Iron Giants attacking Marijoa 200 years ago arises. While it might look like the Iron Giant attacked Marijoa, the truth might be very different. It is possible that the Iron Giant didn't actually attack Marijoa. It was simply trying to get somewhere. This could be very similar to Bartholomew Kuma. We previously saw that he scaled the Red Line, and it almost felt like it was attacking Marijoa. However, his real goal was to get to Egghead. Similarly, the Iron Giant could potentially have been attempting to get to the Nika Devil Fruit, which it would know inhabits the power of Nika, or, in other words, Joy Boy. For that reason, the Iron Giant could potentially have scaled the Red Line. However, as fans know, it ran out of power when it reached the very top. This would have made it seem like the Iron Giant actually attacked the Red Line, when that might not have been the case. The goal of the Iron Giant in that case would have been to seek out the next Nika and protect that individual until the right time came. Of course, the Iron Giant was not able to do that. However, things still worked out, and the Iron Giant is up and running again, only thanks to the the power of Luffy's drums of liberation now that it is up again. The Iron Giant will most likely aid Luffy greatly in escaping from Egghead, and hopefully fans will also get a piece of lore about its creation, and potentially even its goals and confirmation on why it climbed the Red Line 200 years ago. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.